Women don't just say they're into you, they show it. And the truth? Their bodies give them away every single time. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 secret body language signs that prove she's feeling you, even if her words keep it mysterious. Trust me, once you learn these, you'll never miss the signals again. 1. The proximity principle. She finds ways to be close. Let me put you on game. Women don't just happen to be near you over and over. If she's into you, her body does the talking before her mouth ever will. One of the strongest signals is proximity, the way she positions herself in your orbit. When a woman likes you, she'll unconsciously find excuses to close the physical distance. Maybe you're at a party and somehow she drifts closer, even though she was across the room 5 minutes ago. Maybe you're at work and she chooses the desk next to yours, even when there are 10 other spots. Or maybe she's in your friend group, and whenever people spread out, she ends up on your side of the circle. That's not random. That's instinct. Here's what's happening. Attraction is magnetic. When she feels it, she wants to soak in your presence. Not necessarily touch, not yet, but just being near you scratches that itch. And most of the time, she won't even realize she's doing it. Her subconscious runs the show. But let's be real. Not every woman sitting near you is into you. Context matters. Pay attention to the patterns. If she always picks the spot closest to you, that's a clue. If she leans in during conversation when she could have stayed back, that's another. If she stands just inside your personal bubble and doesn't flinch when you shift, that's a major one. Women also use proximity in subtle ways. For example, walking pace. If she slows down to match yours, even when she could have sped ahead, that's her choosing closeness or lingering. If the group conversation ends, but she hangs around instead of leaving, she's signaling comfort. Comfort breeds interest. Proximity also pairs with orientation. If she angles her body toward you, even when someone else is speaking, she's subconsciously prioritizing you. Shoulders, hips, knees, they point where attention goes. If all 3 line up with you, she's basically broadcasting, "You're the center of my world right now." Now here's the fun part. Women rarely risk proximity with guys they don't like. If she's not into you, she'll keep a polite buffer. She'll sit across the table, angle her body away, or maintain just enough space to feel neutral. Attraction overrides that instinct. So, as your wing girl, here's the takeaway. Don't overthink a single instance, but clock the consistency. If she's always finding her way closer, leaning in, or orbiting your space, that's not coincidence. That's interest spelled in body language. 2. The touch test. Light, playful, accidental contact. All right, this one's classic but criminally misunderstood. When a woman's into you, she'll use touch as a way to test the waters. Not heavy, not obvious, light, playful, and often disguised as accidental. But trust me, it's intentional. Here's what it looks like. She brushes your arm when she laughs, even when the joke didn't require a physical response. She taps your shoulder when she's making a point, even though her words were enough. She lets her leg graze yours under the table and doesn't move away. Or maybe she gives you a playful shove, a high five that lingers just a beat too long, or an oops, sorry bump in a crowded room. Touch is intimacy in disguise. It's her way of saying, "I'm comfortable with you," and "I want to see if you're comfortable with me." That's why it's subtle. If she's not into you, she'll avoid unnecessary contact. She'll keep her hands to herself, her body angled away, her personal bubble intact. Attraction lowers those barriers. But here's where guys mess up. They misinterpret neutral contact as flirtation. So let me break it down. Context and frequency are everything. If she bumps into everyone in the group, relax. She's just animated. But if she singles you out, especially repeatedly, that's no accident. Now, don't get it twisted. The right move isn't to pounce. Touch is a test, not a promise. If you reciprocate too aggressively, you break the vibe. The smarter play, mirror her energy. Light touch back, playful, casual. Let her know you read the signal without overdoing it. Here's the insider secret. Women touch when they want to blur the line between friend and something more. If she's crossing that line, she's inviting you to notice. And once you notice, the whole game changes. 3. Eye contact and the lingering look. Forget the cliches about eyes being the windows to the soul. When it comes to attraction, eyes are more like billboards. They advertise interest loudly if you know how to read them. First, sustained eye contact. If she holds your gaze longer than necessary, even for a second, that's a signal. Most people look away quickly in conversation, but when a woman likes you, she lingers. That extra beat of eye contact isn't accidental. It's her way of saying, I see you and I want you to see me. The second level is the quick glance repeat. She looks at you, looks away, then looks back. That's the flirty dance. It shows she's interested but playful, testing if you'll catch on. If you notice her watching you multiple times in a room, congratulations, you're not imagining things. That's interest. Then there's the smile combo. Eye contact paired with a genuine smile is basically her waving a flag. And you'll know it's genuine because her eyes crinkle slightly, what psychologists call a Duchenne smile. Fake smiles don't reach the eyes. Attraction does. Women also use triangular gaze. That's when her eyes move from your eyes down to your lips, then back up. It's subtle, but if you catch it, game over. That's desire showing through body language, plain and simple. Another cue is dilated pupils. This one's less controllable, more biological. When she's into you, her pupils literally expand. Harder to notice in casual light, but in intimate settings, you'll pick it up. Biology doesn't lie. Here's the tricky part. Not all eye contact means attraction. Some women make strong eye contact naturally, others do it as a power move. But again, patterns. If her gaze lingers, repeats, and pairs with other cues like smiles or touches, then you've got your answer. 4. Mirroring your movements. Here's a psychological gem most men completely miss: mirroring. When a woman is into you, her body unconsciously syncs with yours. It's not just cute, it's a dead giveaway of attraction. Picture this. You lean back in your chair, and she does the same a moment later. You pick up your drink, she reaches for hers. You cross your arms, she shifts her body in a similar way. These aren't coincidences. They're micro-signals of alignment. Why does this happen? Because when someone's attracted to you, their brain wants connection. Mirroring is their subconscious way of saying, I'm with you, I'm in tune, I'm on your wavelength. It's rooted in rapport building and empathy. Basically, she's harmonizing with your vibe without even knowing it. The cool part? Mirroring isn't limited to physical gestures. It can show up in speech, too. If you use certain words or slang and she starts adopting them, that's mirroring. If your tone slows down and hers matches, that's mirroring. It's like her entire system is leaning in toward you, wanting to stay aligned. Now, don't confuse mirroring with imitation. If she's mocking you or exaggerating your movements, that's not attraction, it's comedy. True mirroring is subtle, almost invisible, unless you're watching closely. 5. Nervous energy and fidgeting. Here's the thing about attraction. It makes even the most confident women a little clumsy. If she's into you, watch for nervous energy. Her body will betray her cool act with fidgets, stumbles, and those adorable micro signs of tension. What does that look like? Twirling her hair while you talk, playing with her jewelry, adjusting her clothes, biting her lip. Maybe her laugh comes out a little too loud, or she interrupts herself mid-sentence. These aren't signs of disinterest. They're signs she cares about how she's coming across to you. Here's the psychology. When attraction hits, adrenaline rises. Heart rate spikes, palms get clammy, and the nervous system kicks in. For women, that energy often spills out through little movements. She fidgets because she's buzzing inside. One of the clearest cues is self-touch. Not in the way you're thinking, calm down, but in the sense of soothing gestures. She might rub her neck, stroke her arm, or tap her leg. These micro-behaviors are her body's way of calming itself under the tension of attraction. Another clue? Speech patterns. If she stumbles over words, laughs at things that aren't even funny, or zones out mid-conversation, don't assume she's bored. Sometimes it's the opposite. She's so caught up in how she feels around you that her brain short-circuits. Here's a subtle one: over-preening. Adjusting her hair repeatedly, fixing her makeup, checking her phone reflection. That's her making sure she looks good under your gaze. If she didn't care, she wouldn't bother. Now some guys mistake nervous energy for disinterest because they expect women to always flirt smoothly. Wrong. Attraction isn't always polished. It's messy, jittery, awkward. If she's fidgeting, blushing, or tripping over her own charm, she's probably into you more than you realize. Bottom line, nervous energy is a compliment. It means you matter enough to throw her off balance. So instead of misreading it, recognize it for what it is: her body betraying her heart. If this teaching gave you clarity, give it a like, share it with someone who could use it, and subscribe to walk further on this path of Stoic practice.